Hey Kansas, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to Frequency Real Radio. This is your host, Madam X, and welcome to your tarot reading for December of 2016. I can't believe we're in December, but I think everybody is sort of looking forward to December making its way out and kind of looking to what's coming in 2017. And Cancer, from what I've been hearing, what I've been feeling, it's going to be a big year for you guys. You know, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. And I know we've been through a lot of things, but you know, we're coming up on some new territory going into 2017. Just a regeneration and a renewal of who you are and where you want to go to. So before I hop into the reading, before we get into the cards, I'm going to have to try to make these readings short so I can get everybody done this month. I wanted to do your sex readings. Cancer, I think I am going to do your sex readings, but I'm going to try to get a few more signs, love and romance readings out first. But I do thank you guys for checking me out, for coming back, for tuning in. To start off with, I shuffled the cards. I laid the cards so we can make the most of the time that we have. But before I jump into the reading, I just want to say that I feel like Cancers, you may have a lot on your mind. Don't let things give you migraines, stress you out, give you headaches. Don't overthink things. If you feel like something is the way to go or it's what you need to do, then just do those things. Now you may want to come more from a place of indecision and more so in your head and overthinking things to actually doing some things, putting some things into action so that you can fulfill yourselves in the emotional as well as the stability needs that you have. If you feel like people are just getting on your damn nerves, you know what I mean? Don't let people get on your nerves or anything like that. I just feel like a lot of things are all in the head with Cancers this month. And also, you guys may be having some strong connections to the past, some strong visitations or connections with ancestors. I feel like that's gonna play a big part with a lot of the Cancers. Now, these are general readings. If you need something more personal, see my website at frequencyreal.com, order a reading, and we can talk on a personal level. But I feel like generally for the Cancers, most of the Cancers listen to this, you guys may be having dreams about your ancestors. You may be having visits from your ancestors, and things like that. So I feel like there's some really strong connections there and some messages there. And I think the biggest message overall is to let you know you're not alone. You don't go through this struggle alone, and what you're dealing with, you're not dealing with it alone. I'm just making sure my candle is lit. So you're not dealing with it alone, Cancer. So with that said, let's go into the reading. Okay, so for your reading, I'm doing the Gilded Tarot deck by Cyril Marchetti. I'm doing the Romance deck by Doreen Virtue, and the Past Life deck by Doreen Virtue. So I feel like Cancer, this month you're just really going through some transformations. You're gonna leave old things behind and really come to a new point of understanding when it comes to moving on, to kind of settling things, finding yourself spiritually, seeing where you want to be spiritually. If you're into religion, then religion or something like that. But I feel maybe so more coming from the religion and really discovering yourself spiritually and delving more into that path, maybe more so than you ever really been in your life. And I feel like that is going to lead to meeting new people, doing new things, having really finding your tribe and your connections and those soulmates and twin flame connections when it comes to your friends and your romantic partners, because I do see that there's options. There are new love options. You are being courted. There is somebody that has their eye on you, and I feel like this is people. It's not just one person. There are people that have their eye on you, Cancer, and that's why I say you may want to come out of the overthinking and just put into practice more action this month, so you can really make the most out of the opportunities that are going to present themselves to you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And when we say emotionally, I mean, I'm talking about the love relationships and things like that, because I know a lot of people, that's why these readings are the most popular. A lot of people want to know what's going on in their love and romantic life, and a lot of people are looking for love and romance, and I know that's very important to people. So Cancer, you got a lot of cup cards on the table. I laid 5 cards, and I'm taking a look at the bottom of the deck, but I laid 5 cards, and 3 of the 5 cards are cup cards. You got the, sorry, I had the phone call come through. You got the 10 of cups, the 9 of cups, and the 3 of cups. We also got the Death card, and we got the World card, and on the bottom of the deck we have the Hanging Man. So I feel like you're kind of coming from a place, like I said, of being in your head, of thinking things over. I think you have centered yourself, and you are becoming more centered as we come to the end of the year. So you realize what has been going on. You realize where you are, where you want to. Everybody wants to call when I started reading. Where you want to be and where you need to be. And with who you want to be and with who you need to be. And I think coming to some of those realizations is the state that the Hanging Man talks about. Is going through those trials and tribulations in a difficult situation, but being grounded mentally, physically, and emotionally, and kind of knowing what direction and what's going to come out of the situation that you're in. You know, it's taking that time through those difficult situations to realize what's really important, what's best for you, and where you're going to go from here. And, you know, with the World card, it's the perfect card and right in the middle of the spread, because it really says that, especially on top of the Death card, because it says that out of that inner process comes the outer process of the actual death, the actual transformation, where all that's in front of you and the only place to go is open up the world. You have made it to the world. You have made it to the place where all of the options are yours, where all of those good things, all of these things that are on your mind, the 10 of cups, the complete happiness, the complete love, having abundance, having family, having love all around you. There are bees in a rainbow in this 10 of cup card in the Gilded Tarot deck, which is very it speaks of such life, in such a cycle of life where it keeps turning and it keeps giving. You've gotten to the highest pinnacle of that cycle of life, because I don't know if you've ever heard, but like we've been going through things the last few years where you just don't see as many bees as you used to. I'm seeing more. I think this year I probably have seen more bees than I've seen in the last few years. But with the bees, what they say is when you start not to see the bees, that is how you know there's a decline of a life. Life cycles are coming to an end. It's not a good sign when you don't see the bees. Look that up. Look into the science of that, because the bees, they pollinate, they keep things growing. I mean, bees, we use bees for their honey, their the honey and the things that the pollen from bees, it is life-giving sustenance. It is life-sustaining. Like I said, they fly from flower to flower and they pollinate things and keep things growing. So to not see the bees talks of a really sad level of a deterioration in the human condition, just by looking at the life cycle and what's going on with bees. So to see that in that card, in that rainbow, is just speaking of having everything, that cycle of life continually turning. And that's coming from the 9 of cups. So it's coming from a place where you may have had it all, but you may have thought you had it all, but you didn't really have that 10 of cups. You know what I mean? And it's having things, it's having good times, it's being full, it's the cups floweth over. You know, you have so much and you're so happy and you're so jolly that it's almost like being drunk with happiness. It's having what you want. A lot of people call it the wish card in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, but it's not the complete fulfillment that you get out of the 10 of cups. The 9 of cups speaks somewhat to me, no matter what sort of deck I've seen it in, out of the decks that I have, it speaks of almost an over assurance of yourself, a over emotional self with all of those cups, having so much that you really don't have it all, and having a lot but not having everything, missing that one cup that has what you need. So it speaks of having a lot of what you want, but do you have what you need? And to get to that point of the world, you have to go through, you had to work on things spiritually and on the inside with these relationships to get to these points of really having that total bliss and that total happiness. And you're working your way up. That's what's on your mind, and you're coming from having levels of happiness, but you're working towards having everything you need. In the love and the relationship realm, and I read the cards how they come out. These are love and relationship readings, but a lot of this is to speak to you, to speak to your soul, to help you get to where you need to get in your love and relationship area of your life. So right now, you're working through these cycles, you're working through these changes to make a better you. So therefore, you can bring that better you to these partnerships. You don't want to go into a relationship where you're half. You want to go in as a whole. And when you bring two wholes together, that's when you really have a complete relationship. So I see that for the Cancers, there may be a lot of partying with your partner coming up. I feel like there is a lot of emotions in your cups do runneth over. There may be, you've been through some hard times, but as you go through these changes and having a confidence in yourself, talking to people and telling them what you're going to stand for. You may have talked to your partner or had conversations with your partner about what you're going to go for, what you're not going to go for, how this relationship needs to work. And if these conversations haven't happened, they're coming up because if you're with someone, I see that there's going to be a new level of love. There's going to be a new level that you reach in a relationship once you can get on the same ground. Once you come eye to eye in agreement with some things on a relationship and get on in one accord, then you're going to be able to go to a more celebratory, a happier level. I mean, a lot of times when people read that Three of Cups card and we talk about romance and relationships, there may be, you may just be dating. You may have people that you're dating. And I think that among your prospects that you're dating, you're really coming to narrow it down, because the Three of Cups, it speaks of three people are on that card. There's 3 cups of that card. And I feel like you're going into a place where you're really looking at yourself from a spiritual perspective. You're having a conversations and you're narrowing it down to the people that you really want to be in one-on-one soulmate and twin flame relationships with. There's a transformation. You've kind of done your thing. You've kind of been through the hurt, been through the pain, then opened yourself up, saw what was out there. And I think you're going to be making the best choices for you when it comes to your love and your relationship life, Cancer. A lot of emotional fulfillment, going out, having good times, meeting some new people that are well suited for you, not settling for anything that isn't that makes you feel good, but it isn't everything that you need, like I spoke of, that makes you feel good with the Nine of Cups, but there's still something missing. So you're going to be having those conversations this month. You're going to be walking on a more spiritual path, looking for people that are more spiritually aligned with your walk in life, your path in life, and you're going to be choosing from your options. You're going to be choosing from the people that you're dating, because there are also 2 people on this new love card. So I feel like this is more so your expressions to people are just going to let them know where you stand. And I don't think you're going to be pretty much budged from that. And then you're going to see that as you clear up some of the old debris, there are going to be people that are going to be professing their adoration for you, their love for you, their interest in you, Cancer. So just get ready for that in the month of December. And it's a perfect time, because I see that you're going to be going to celebrations. There are going to be holiday things. Your cups are going to overflow. Your emotional cups and your just cups of joy and fulfillment, they're going to flow. And that's a very good reading to be looking at this month, especially in December as we go into the new year. You guys have to believe in yourself. You have to first believe that you deserve it all to have it all. And finishing up the reading, we move to the past life card. And what a beautiful, beautiful card. And let me tell you how meant this is for Cancer, because as you guys may or may not know, I'm a Cancer, and I had done, I took some astrology classes, and it was some research I was doing. I can't recall, because this was quite some time ago. And it's just funny. It was not on my mind at all until this card came up, which is even funnier, because maybe I should say it is on my mind, because when I told you guys about ancestors and everything like that, that message came to me before I laid these cards. And this Atlantis has everything to do with the ancestors. And let me tell you why. And why it was funny, through some research that I was doing about myself, into my own astrology chart, into where some placements of some planets were, into like my rising sign and things like that, I had come to to the information and the discovery that I come from that ancient civilization of Atlantis. I have had a lifetime in that civilization that now they say, it's underwater, it's no longer here, but all of the beautiful things that you have heard about that. So in the past lifetime, Cancer, you go back centuries and millions of years, and you really have to go within. You have that intuitive knowledge. Your ancestors are with you. Atlantis was a beautiful, beautiful society, a beautiful place, and you have to stand within yourself and know you've been here for a long time. There's nothing that hasn't been done before. So these new loves and the people that come into your life, and even the renewal of your relationships, or if you are in a relationship, it all comes from past life bonds, soulmate bonds, twin flame bonds, like I spoke of, that are coming back again. So you have had a lifetime in Atlantis. You have been on this planet for many, many years, and you just want to have that confidence and that knowing that the things that are meant for you, the people that are meant, they are coming, because like I said, we've been here and it's all been done before. And just before we go, to give you that extra piece of guidance, I'm going to read to you Atlantis. I gave you my interpretation of Atlantis, but now I'm going to read to you Atlantis from the book, so you can get a little bit more perspective, and it can take you into your new year with nothing but happiness, rainbows, unicorns, and joy. So Atlantis, your lifetime in ancient Atlantis is affecting your current situation. You have soul memories of this idyllic civilization that offered every imaginable wonder. And let me just interject there. A lot of times, Cancer, like I said, on your mind, I got the Ten of Cups card. You have on your mind all of the wonderful things that you want to see. We definitely are creative and we idealize. And a lot of times we get frustrated when things aren't as perfect, and we know nothing is perfect, but we have these perfect scenarios in our head. So getting back to the book. There's a longing for the utopia that you unconsciously remember, and which you know is possible in this world. Your soul also remembers the tragic ending of Atlantis, and you may have developed phobias about the ocean as a result. I, for one, as much of a water sign as I am, my rising, my sun, and my moon are all in water signs. I can get on a plane. I had fears of planes, but I conquered that when I went to college. Had to get on planes by myself for the first time. My first time on a plane, nobody was with me. I did it by myself. But I have not conquered my fear of going like on cruise. Every time somebody says they want to go on a cruise, I'm like, no, I'd rather just get on the plane and go there. This is what I'm telling you guys. When you feel something and it's inside of you, it is real. It is worth exploring past life regression sessions. It is worth exploring your spirituality deeper, because what you feel is real. We do not feel what we feel for no reasons. The ancestors do not come to us for no reason, and you don't have connections, especially being Cancers and being very intuitive and into your feelings, which is why I'm an empath and I do this work, because this is my service to the world. What you feel is very, very valid. And that's why you have to come here, get the readings, go and do the research, study your astrology, and study who you are, so that you and do the soul work. And I feel like you guys are going to be doing that going into 17, because it's going to help you understand your life now. As you know, they say history repeats itself. If you don't know history, you won't understand the future. So it's so important that you understand things like this. So I'm going to go again. Your soul also remembers the tragic ending of Atlantis, and you may have developed phobias about the ocean as a result. Although you love the sea, I love the sea and I love water. I'm saying that back to the book. Perhaps you prefer not to go swimming or sailing. You also recall how the majority of Atlanteans were peace-loving, with the exception of a few political leaders who misused crystal power to the detriment of all. So, you may be extra sensitive to issues relating to political corruption in this lifetime. And before I close up the reading and say goodbye, just to tell you how true that is. Again, I'm a Cancer. I'm very, very Cancer, because I'm a Cancer rising and a Cancer sun, and I don't participate in politics. Don't get me wrong. I research politics. I probably know, now I don't know everything about policy, but I probably know more about the actual policies than people who go out and vote and who are involved in politics know. But I refuse to participate in those things, because I'm just a person who cuts through the bullshit. I cannot stand bullshit. I can't play games where I know that at the end of the day, they really mean nothing. I'm not a person who goes through the motion. through the motions, and I refuse to go through the motions and live in any sort of facade. So just reading that passage from the book, I'm sure that speaks to a lot of you Cancers. And if you're wondering why you're feeling the way you're feeling, you'll be going through some difficult times and through a stasis, and you're really looking for to reach a certain height in your love and your relationships, it starts with you. It starts with you developing your soul and your spirituality more to understand who you are and where you come from. And then you will see that reverberate in the happiness in your relationships with your friends, your family, what you do for a living, your career, your work, and your partner, your soulmate, and your twin flame relationships. So guys, I thank you so much for checking out Frequency Real Radio for December. I'll be back at the close of December just to go through a quick rundown with every sign going into the new year. I love you guys. And Madam X signing off. Deuces, nothing but the best. Much love, peace, happiness, and I wish you everything that your heart can desire to come true for you in 2016 and in 2017. Peace, guys.